Hey guys, Jaws Shark Reviews here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Voyager class Rhinox. So, here he is in his Rhino mode, and yes, this is the third mainline Rise of the Beasts Voyager, the first and only one in the second wave, and yeah, so here he is. But before we take a look at Rhinox himself, let's take a look at his packaging right here. So, yeah, as you can see, it's the standard mainline packaging for the Rise of Beasts Deluxes and Voyagers. And so yeah, here we got this, render here of Rhinox, just sniffing, I don't know, wild bead vines. Hopefully he doesn't eat them, or else, well, if you watch Beast Wars, then you'll know what happens. And of course, you got Rhinox right down there with the Maximal logo. You got Transformers Rise of Beasts. And up here, a little Maximal logo there as well. On top, you got the film's logo. On this side, you get a continuation of that render. And then you got the Maximal logo. And Transformers Authentic. So it is not a third-party figure. And on top right here, you got that that weird thing that they do in this line where they just have like this weird circular thing, and then they implement like the character's face in there. But yeah, but in this case, you got Rhinox's face. Then you got a different render here of Rhinox where he's just like looking up at something. What he's looking at, I'm not sure, but yeah. And he is a Voyager class, like I said before. And yeah, you got Rhinox there, you got that weird logo. And you got his CGI render, 21 steps, and all this down here. And as well, you can see what the bomb looks like. And that is it for his packaging. So we shall take a look at Rhinox himself yet again, but actually in detail instead of just you seeing him here like this. So let's get into that right now. So here is his head sculpt right here. So you can see all the details and paint they put into it. And yeah, I'll say this right now. This figure is quite blew me away. Again, I'll get into more of that a bit later, but yeah. So and this is one of the reasons why, because look at this like impressive sculpting that they did. Like they put all these like little like kind of textures on here, even with the horns here. Like it's not all smooth. It's a little rough. And of course, all the mechanical detail looks awesome, and that silver paint looks very nice. And you got the other side here, and the top. Unfortunately, there's some little holes on here on the top, like little gaps. And the bottom, you got this giant hollow space right there, and visible head syndrome right there. He does lack quite a bit of paint, which kind of made me a little hesitant on getting this figure when I first saw him when he was leaked months ago. But after like I decided, well, maybe why not get him? After handling him, he's actually really good. But yeah, that's the only real big complaint I have is again he's lacking paint. So, but nonetheless, with the paint he's got though, it still looks really nice. And of course, I really love this kind of chain sculpting detail with the paint. This looks so good. So yeah. Now, anyways, for the articulation in the Rhino mode, you can move his head up and down, and his jaw can open right there all the way this much, so he can give off a loud roar. And yeah. Now, next, he does have in out or back and forth arm movement, and it can go out this far, so they can have a little flying rhino coming at you. But yeah. And you got a little swivel here. That's more for the robot mode. And you got hind leg movement, and the hind legs move back this far. And you can move them in pretty forward, just don't move them in too forward, or else they'll get stuck in there. And yeah, so that is it for the articulation here in alt mode. So now let's get into the accessories. So what's interesting here is that you're looking at an accessory right now. And that accessory is his horns. Yep, you didn't expect that. Yeah, so now I get this weird looking hornless rhino thing right here. This looks odd. I don't know what this looks like. It kind of looks like an armadillo, if I'm going to be honest. But anyway, so yeah, the reason why I consider this an accessory is because when packaged, this is like not attached. to his Rhino noggin, so you will have to attach that yourself. Just be sure to find that in the packaging. Do not throw it away immediately, or else this is how your Rhino is going to look like. Yeah, again, we've already taken a look at this in close detail, so yeah, just want to point out. But for the real accessories here, we got his 2 chainsaw guns right here. And yeah, his iconic weapons from the Beast Wars cartoon. And I think he might have had that in the movie. I didn't pay too much attention. Unfortunately, Rhinox didn't get a lot of screen time. But, you know, yeah, I'll have to look at it again. I'm going to have to, like, when it comes to Blu-ray, I'm going to have to, like, look really close to see if he has these, but in the movie. But yeah, anyways, so, yeah, he's got these weapons, which he might have had in the movie. And yeah, so he definitely has in the toy line, because there's another Rhinox here that I've ever reviewed. It was the Bowmaster one, or what were those called? Or Bow Changer. The Bow Changer Rhinox has like one of these. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, signature weapons right here. And what's an improvement over the Kingdom one is that, well, not only is it, you know, much bigger in size, like with the chainsaw part, because on the Kingdom one, they're probably about the size of where these 4 holes are. But now, well, maybe a little bit bigger, but still. But now they're a lot bigger, and they can actually spin. So I might give these to my Kingdom one. I'm not sure, because these seem to be a lot better than what they gave us on the Kingdom one. But anyways, so you can attach these right here. There's like these little pegs that go into these holes on his shoulders, so you can put those in there so that I can have a Rhino spin with these weird chainsaw Gatling gun things. So hey, that's pretty cool. I'm all for it. Oh, yeah, that popped off. I'm not sure anywhere else to store it, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for those. We'll take a look at those more later. But yeah, so anyways, now for the alt mode size comparisons. Here he is with Optimus Prime. Here he is with Optimus Primal. And here he is with Cheetor. So there you guys have his alt mode size comparison. So now let's get right down to the transformation. So starting off, what you guys want to do here is you want to lift up his front arms right here. And then next, lift up these side panels. And then you're just going to untab these little slots here or these tabs here from these slots. Just want to untap it there. And then you want to bring this all up here. There you go. And you want to make sure these little tabs here are sticking out in the front, because that'll help with lining up later. So yeah. Then next, you just want to flip in his hind legs. And then fold these all back here, and then there's these tabs right here. They go in those slots. I just want to make sure that it's all squeezed in and stuff. And then next, you just want to flip up his toes. And then finally, well, first split apart the legs. Then there's these slots here that go into these tabs. You just want to make sure they align properly, and you can close them up. And there you go. So, but we're not done with the legs, because next you have to swivel right here close to where the knee is, right above the knee. And then after that, swivel here at the waist. So now we got the lower half of him done. We just got to get the upper half here completed. So we shall do that now. So next thing, you just want to rotate the forearms where the front here sticks out on both sides. And then flip out the fists, and then after that, you just want to kind of put a little pressure right here, because notice this. You want to make sure that rotates all the way this way before it can click. It'll kind of click into place there. And you want to do the same thing right here. There you go. Oh, and this came off. There you go. All right, now. There we go. You just snap that in. And then next, rotate the head forward. So now he's looking at y'all. And then finally, what you guys want to do is you want to bring this down right here. And then flip in this part. Just untab that and then bring that all in. And once you got that all configured, there you guys have Rhinox in his robot mode. And while I will say sculpt-wise it looks really good, the lack of paint does not help at all. Like this, yeah, it kind of looks a little atrocious with the lack of paint. Like the silver looks great and stuff, but like, you know, he's lacking a lot of color, as you can tell. But outside of that, though, this is actually, like, surprisingly a really, really good figure. Especially here in the robot mode, because, well, we'll get into all that right now. So, starting off, we got the head sculpt here. Fantastic head sculpt. That definitely is accurate to how it appears in the movie. I mean, judging by the other toys, this is how his head should look. So, yeah, I really like what they do with the eyes. It's, like, green, like, on the outside, then his pupils are dark. Really dig that. And I really love the silver they did here on the chest. It kind of reminds me of like a tin foil or something. Pretty sweet. And then they did that same kind of paint here for his forearms. And of course here for they did that for all the silver. So that looks really good. And I got that weird kind of screw look right here. Looks like screws going through his legs, or his shins rather. Yeah, not so comfortable, but yeah. But yeah, the detailing, while the paint may be lacking, the detail certainly ain't lacking. Because, I mean, look how good this looks. So yeah, here on the back, you know, typical Rhinox kibble. So yeah, pretty good detailing right there. So yeah, now anyways, for the articulation on this guy, head does swivel, arms, or shoulders rather, do move, swivel full 180, and the arms can move out all the way this far. He does not have a bicep swivel, but rather swivel just above the elbow. And speaking of the elbows, he does have a bend there at 90 degrees approximately, and in and out movement with the hands. He does have a waist swivel. Legs can go out this far, only back that far actually. If you move the legs outwards, you can get more movement. It's a little bit hindered with this kibble here. And then legs can kick out that far. And he does have a sort of, yeah, kind of a swivel just above the knee, I should say. Similar with, you know, with the elbow thing here. And he does have a bend at the knee. And ankles do pivot, and feet do move a little bit back and forth, and you get a little toe movement thanks to his transformation. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for his articulation. Really, really good. Like, you can pose this guy around. Like, that's what I said. As a figure, like, in terms of, like, sculpt-wise and articulation-wise, he's really good. But paint-wise, unfortunately, he mostly suffers. Again, like, where it really shines, though, is, again, his silver, because especially with that face, like, that looks really good. Really nice. So, yeah, so anyways, now for accessories, again, you know, he got his 2 chainsaw Gatling guns, so now he can, you know, blast you all down. So, yeah, beware Terracons, Rhinox is coming for you. So, yeah, there's that. So, anyways, you know, straighten out all here. So anyways, now for the robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Optimus Prime. Oops. Here we go. Here he is with Optimus Primal. He's actually a little bit taller. That's odd. Never thought I'd see Rhinox be taller than Primal, but okay. Or actually, no, I think he was in the original Beast Wars cartoon, so maybe it's not too off. And finally, here he is with Cheetor, who looks nothing like how he did in the movie, but yeah, there you guys have the robot mode size comparisons. And there you guys have my review for the Transformers Rise of the Beast Voyager class Rhinox. And yeah, I gotta say, this is actually surprisingly a pretty good figure. Like I never thought like when I first saw it, it's like, okay, it looks kind of garbage, but honestly, having it in the hand, it's actually, you know, not that bad. Yeah, again, the only thing I wish that they gave this guy was a bit more paint, but you know, proportionally, you know, his chest should be a lot more bigger and bulkier, because if you see in like in the Rise of the Beast movie, you know, he was like that. But again, I don't really care since the Studio Series one is coming in to save the day with that. So for this being its own thing, I actually quite dig it, and just like I do with the other mainline figures, it's a fun little mainline figure. Like as with past movie mainline figures, like they're not taking themselves too seriously. Just some good fun that you can play with and stuff, and still good for the collectors at the same time with the posability and detail and stuff. So yeah, pretty good buy. If you want to get this and wait for the Studio Series, then I mean I can't blame you honestly, but it's if you're kind of feeling the urge to get it, then hey, I'd say get it because it's actually a pretty solid figure, and the accessories too are very good. Well, not very very good, but just pretty good. Glad you can spin them around and stuff. So yeah. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of this figure. So anyways, guys, as always, till all are one.